Hello, my dear students. Greetings to every one of you. In this session, we are going to have the last and the continuation part of the story, The Child, written by Premchand. So, before going to discuss the last part of this story, let's see what we have already discussed in our previous class, that is recapitulation. So, in the previous class, you understood the relationship between Gangu and Gomti Devi. You know who are Gangu and Gomti Devi. So, they got married and they started their relationship. So, you have understood their relationship in between them. And also, you are able to know the narrator's opinion about Gomti Devi. So when the story started, narration had such a bad notion about Gomti Devi, but when the story ends, the narrator has changed his complete mindset. What he was having regarding Gomti Devi. So you were able to know his opinion about Gomti Devi. And in this session also you will find some learning objectives. It will help you to understand the theme of love in the story, and also this session will help you to critically appreciate the story. And you have some session outcomes. It will help and it will enable you to debate on the rigid conservative beliefs and evaluate the situation critically. And in this slide we can see the contents we are going to discuss in our further slides. The very first content is the character of Gomti Devi, and the second content is character of Gangu, and also we find which are all the major themes in the story, and also we can see critical appreciation. And after discussing all these slides, you will have the session's summary, and also you find some multiple choice questions, and at last you're going to have references. Let's start with the character of Gomti Devi. So you came to know that Gomti Devi is one of the characters in the story The Child. So she is an important character in the story. She was a kind of woman whom no self-respecting man would even allow near his house. This is the opinion of narrator. And Gomti Devi, she was not a good character. So actually, all the men who are fond of Gomti Devi, they used to come to the house of Gomti Devi, and she was married twice, and she was not able to live with those two husbands. Uh, Maybe there might be problem with the men, but according to the Indian society, so every blame should be held by women only. So she had taken a room in the mohalla and was an object of great interest to all the lowlone young man. So this line shows us that what kind of character she was having in her personal life. When the narrator comes to know Gangu is getting married to Gumti, he is sure that the marriage would not last for long. So, and also the narrator tried to advise our hero Gangu not to marry Gumti Devi because he knew everything about Gumti Devi, and he was very much sure that Gumti Devi will not stay with him for a long time after their marriage. So he tried to convince him, but Gangu was not ready to listen to him, and he was not convinced by narrator's word. In spite of his advice, he got married to Gomti Devi because he had such belief and he had trust on her. After 5 months of marriage with Gangu, she lives and Gangu and disappears. So the narrator's words came true here, and he was a little bit happy because it has become true what he thought and what he advised. After 5 months of the marriage, Gangu found that Gomti Devi has left him and his house, but for his console, she did not take anything from the house. So this made him to believe that Gomti Devi will come back one day. At last, she gave birth to a baby which was not Gangu's, but he lives with them happily. At the end of the story, we can find that Gomti Devi has come back and she gives a birth to a baby that actually that baby that does not belong to Gangu's blood, but Gangu accepted the child as the gift from the god. And narrator also decided to meet Gomti Devi, and he thought and he had what he lost his notion what actually he had on Gomti Devi, and he decided to meet and talk to her. And here, let's have discussion about the character of Gangu. And Gangu is the protagonist of the story, and he plays a vital role throughout the story. Gangu is a Brahmin, and he is the protagonist of the story. He works under the narrator as a servant. Though he was a Brahmin, he was a servant under his master. His master was none other than the narrator. And he was a Brahmin, but he was not stick to the traditions and customs of Brahmin religion. He is a short-tempered man, and he cannot tolerate even the slightest rebuke. He has very few friends and considers it below his dignity to sit with the bearer. Though he was a Brahmin, he was working under as a servant, but he used to feel superior than other servants. Though he is a Brahmin, he never prays, nor does he go for a bath in the river, and he is completely an illiterate. Usually, we find Brahmins are literates and they will be having some kinds of education. But in this story, our hero Gango is a completely illiterate fellow, but he had such a great humanity because we could see that he got married to Gomti Devi, and, and he's a Brahmin. He never prays nor does he go for bath in the river. So this was his important characteristics. As a Brahmin, he did not like to go for bath, or he did not pray for God. And what are all the major themes can be found in the story? The major themes are love. So love, we could find such pure and honest love in between Gangu and Gomti Devi, and compassion also can be seen in between Gangu and Gomti Devi, and social awareness also can be found in this story, and poverty. Though Gangu was a Brahmin, he was suffering from poverty because he used to work as a servant under his master, and later after his marriage, he started working as a hawker. And forgiveness is another important theme of this story because Gangu forgives Gomti Devi. So when she leaves him, and he did not think that he thought that she would come back one day to him. Let's see the critical appreciation of the story. The child contains various issues of Indian society and psychological aspects of Indian mindset. The story starts with an introduction of an illiterate Brahmin servant Gangu who thinks he is superior among all other servants because he is a Brahmin. Because of only this reason, Gangu thought that he was much superior to other servants who was working with him. The story showcases Indian society and culture in a minute manner. We can see this Indian society's culture and the society's awareness. Actually, in those days, widows were not allowed to remarry, but our hero Gangu broke the tradition and he got married to her, and they started living happily. Even Gomti Devi gives birth to a child. Let's see the session summary. We have already discussed these points in our above slides. The characters of Gango and Gomti Devi so play a vital role in the story. So these two are the major characters, and they play a very important role throughout the story. But Ganga's role is very important here. Both of them get married in spite of the advice from the narrator. The narrator tried to avoid their marriage because he knew what is Gangu, and he knew what was Gomti Devi. So he tried to convince him, but he was not successful in convincing Gangu. The major themes. What are the major themes we have found in this story? The major themes in the story are love, compassion, poverty, social awareness, etc. As a Brahmin, Gangu broke all the religious rule and marries a widow whose past was not good. So in those days, we had a tradition that widows they should not be married to another man, but Gangu he decided to marry her, and he got married, and he was successful in it. We have come to the fag end. So you're going to find some multiple choice questions. So here is your first question. Where did Gomti Devi live? Option A is at Mohalla, option B is at street, option C at bungalow, option D at the narrator's house. I think you might have found the answer. She lived at Mohalla. And this is your second question. Which one of the following is not the theme of the story? So we have discussed all the major themes of the story. So which one of the following is not the themes of the story? Option A is poverty, so it is found. Option B, love, and option C, aristocracy, and option D is compassion. The right answer is aristocracy. And here is your third question. Gangu felt superior among all other servants because. Why did he feel superior to others? Option A is he was rich. Option B, he was a Brahmin. Option C, he was a leader. And option D, he was a priest. So, what was the reason? The reason was he was a Brahmin. And here goes your fourth question. Why was Gomti sent away from widow's house? Option A is she was a servant. Option B, returned twice after remarriage. Option C, she was a hawker. Option D, she was a beggar. So she was sent to the widow's house because she returned twice after remarriage. She got married for twice, but she could not live with them for twice. And here is your last question. Why did Gomti leave Gangu? ಯಾಕೆ ಗಂಗು ಗೋಮಟಿ ದೇವಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾಳೆ? Option A, because of hesitation. Option B, she thought he's not a match for her. Option C, she got married to another man. Option D is she stole all things from Gangu's house. So the right answer is, the right option is because of hesitation. What hesitation she had? Because she has become pregnant after the after 6 months of their marriage. So that is what she thought. Gangu may think he may have a bad opinion about her, and she leaves Gangu with the hesitation. And in this last slide, you find the references. So I have taken a few informations from Innovation Board of Editors approved by the Board of Studies in English, Coimbatore University, and also I have taken MD reviewportion.blogspot.com. Dear students, by this we have completed the explanation and we have completed all the video sessions of all the lessons that have been prescribed for your syllabus. So please do read and get ready for the examinations, and all the best for your examinations. Thank you so much. Have a good day.